Out of the ordinary show, made by an ordinary schmo. His name is Dave, he's everybody's fave. He's big and mean, but he's kind of obscene. It's out of the ordinary show. I mean, he's just an ordinary show.
Thank you very much. That was my brother with the Out of the Ordinary Show theme tune. Sing the theme tune. And this is number 6 of Out of the Ordinary. We'll have the lovely Sonia with me today, where we'll be chatting, well, just about everything. And I have her in person here, and I think it's always much more an intimate, much more interesting interview when it's done in person. So, where can we start? Where are you from originally? If you tell everyone where you're from originally.
I'm Portuguese. I'm from Lisbon.
Lisbon. That's the capital of Portugal, Lisboa.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And how long have you been in London?
Not London, in the UK.
In the UK.
9 years.
9 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So it almost feels like I must have known you from the best part that you've been in the UK then.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's becoming better.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah. We've been friends for what, 5 years now?
You must be at least
Yes.
that. Yeah. The ups and downs of the community that we were part of. So yeah, what brought you to the UK then, essentially?
Well, I've always wanted to live in an English-speaking country.
Okay.
Because, contrary to what people think, English was my first language, not Portuguese. And the UK was closer to Portugal. The Portuguese economy was a nightmare. In there, we finished our university degrees, and the jobs you have.
What did you study at university?
Which university or the subject?
Well, the subject.
Well, it has a posh name, but it's more like international relations.
Gender studies.
No, not at all. Oh God, no. No, it was applied for in languages to economics, management, law, and culture. That's the posh name.
Okay, yeah.
And it was also a bit of a icky thing because it's a degree that doesn't have a title. So when I finished my degree, I had my family saying, "So what are you?"
Oh, so there's no BSc or BA or.
No, it's like you don't, because in Portugal you are like a DR straight after you have a degree, and you like an engineer, you are a lawyer. With my degree, you're not anything. You just because it's so vast, you can go through so many areas inside the same degree. So my mom was like, "So what are you?" I'm the same as before. I'm Sonia.
That's a good.
And she's like, "But you're nothing." Like, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, not quite. Well, but you found yourself in London, and it was an English-speaking place, obviously. Yeah. But what kept did you meet your husband here? Is that what kept you? You met your husband in Portugal, right?
I met him while we were at work.
And he was fine to move to London as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as I would do all the paperwork and all the things, he would just tag along.
Right.
I did all the research to come here. I checked everything. We came here before moving because I wanted to do the things the right way. So we visited this. We came a few months later to rent the house. We paid for the deposit and 6 months of rent up front before we moved to the UK.
Right.
And then we came.
I bet the landlord loved you.
I don't landlord. You know what? It's a fair thing to do because you don't know me. You don't have any references from me in the UK. So I'll pay the deposit. I'll pay. The thing is, when you want to move to a country, in my opinion, my humble opinion, you either go by the book and with conditions to do so,
Sure,
or you don't move at all. You're not going to be a burden to the country.
Well, isn't that a huge debate at the moment in America?
Yes,
and
I'm being like crucified by my friends because they want me to say that I am against this or that, and I'm like, for me, and I moved to the UK with one child. I moved here with one child.
And how old was that? One
he
child?
was 15 months old, so he was a baby.
Right.
And I said, do you know what? No matter our utopic idea of planet we may have, there are borders. We're not the United States of Europe. And here we have the Schengen space that we can move, but still we need to have certain.
But if I just quickly go off on a tangent, well, I could keep on the borders thing, but you know that song, "Imagine There's No Border," John Lennon.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Do you think
I'm pro borders?
You are pro, but I mean, I love the song. I love the song and possibly the sentiment, but it's like saying, "Oh, imagine there's no crime and imagine there's no death," and we'd all like that, but we have to be pragmatic, don't we? We have to be realistic.
Well, I usually say, and people think that I'm just being a smartass. I don't live in La La Land, and I don't fart unicorn glitter, so it doesn't work like that.
I tried once to fart unicorn glitter.
It was like the other part that ate glitter. Well, not.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, you can't do it. I sympathize with people that run from war places and this and that. Okay, but for them, they still need to go through some stages. You can't just invade countries, because if we go in a hugely smaller scale, you have your house. Your neighbor may love your house, but he can't just come in and make himself at home because it's your house. If he wants to come here, he needs to come when you invite him to come. Or if you have some rules, he needs to knock on the door, say, "Hello, Dave, how are you?" Blah, 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 and then he comes. He just doesn't open the door and say, "I'm here.
Sure.
I'm unpacking my bags." No. I have a kid. Congratulations. Happy to know he's healthy. But it's not like that. And when I moved to the UK, we had enough money to support ourselves for a month before needing to go to get a job. Although I have registered straight away at the job center, and the excuse was I had more skills than him, and my English was far better than his. So I was.
That was your husband.
Yeah. I was the main claim of the.
Okay.
Of the thing, so I was the one looking for the job before he did.
Sure.
So,
but if I remember correctly, though, Tiago was your husband. He was much more anti-borders, wasn't he? I mean, he Brexit. Yeah.
Do you know what?
I mean, Brexit. He called everyone who didn't vote remained as a racist. He tarred everyone as a racist.
I don't like Brexit in a way, but I agree with Brexit in another way. I don't like when I go out and people insult me and they say, "Go back to your country. You're stealing my benefits."
No, but seriously, have you had people say
that?
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, do you know what? It's not my fault. I have better skills than you do.
Yeah.
I speak more than one language. So what?
Where would they? I mean, let's just say that. I'm sure most of them.
Mostly in Kent, not in London.
Right,
I never had that in
the
London.
Garden of England, and they're saying this sort of thing.
They do. Yeah. They do.
But where would they say your country? If someone, what I mean,
because I'm brunette. Because I'm brunette.
Well, you do look. You do look exotic.
Do you know what? It's something that really annoys me, and I have nothing against the Mexicans or the Colombians or whatever. Yeah. We are in Europe. We have Spanish. We have Portuguese. We have Italian. We have so many people with my, looks.
Hey, Vinny, give me a pizza. I got a job.
And they ask me, "Are you Mexican? No. Are you Colombian? No. Are you Brazilian?" God, no, I'm in Europe. I am in Europe. No, I'm just Portuguese. Right, and they were like, "But you don't see my Portuguese."
Well, you don't see. You're more likely to see South Americans in London than you are to see Portuguese.
I usually say, I think my ancestors, they couldn't keep themselves with the pants on
Well,
when it came to a woman.
let's-
So
let's hope
they
all
went
of our
to China,
ancestors were like that.
they married the Chinese, they had whatever.
Oh, you're related to Marco Polo then?
Probably, no. The other side went to Ireland. Well, there you go. The others went to France. There we go. It's like, and I have family almost everywhere on the planet. It's ridiculous. I remember that when I was 18, I already had 150 cousins that I have never met. It's like, you're like rabbits. Have you heard of birth control? You just stop. There's TV already. You don't need to keep going. But
you
I
say you're
joke,
from a
it's
big
true.
family.
I
I
am,
remember
I am.
spoken to you a few times, touched on it a few times, how big your family and how and you used.
We don't get along.
But an interesting word that you use that I know that you don't use because you're a little bit like me about the word, but you
Like
used
sheep.
it. Privileged.
Yes.
Privilege.
Yes.
You used the word privilege.
Because we were. My grandparents, they had a good life. I remember hearing stories that they had 7 living kids. They had 1 maid for each child, plus the cooker, plus the external one.
When you say cooker, you mean a maid, a person who would cook.
Yeah.
Not a stove.
No,
Yeah.
not a stove. No. Just someone that would cook.
Someone that would cook. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
a chef.
Yeah,
No,
a chef.
call a chef.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
posh.
Okay.
But they both worked loads. And they taught every single one of their children, and even passed it to me. They may had that because they worked hard. I know that.
And this was all in Portugal.
No,
No?
they were in South China and Macau.
That's
why the Chinese go.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, which was the Portuguese colony.
Yes,
yeah,
next to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
but from my these were my mom's side. My grandma, she had a coat of arms from the French, one of the French nobles. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I have no idea because it was one of the her sisters that told my mom. To be honest, I never checked what was the coat of arms because I don't care about that.
Oh.
My dad has to, and I was like, I shocked him when I told him I'm not a cow to have something a brand in my pinky finger with one of those horrid rings with no. And yes, and she was very pushy, but they learn the value of things and value of as a family. And although my mom had just an external, like it's not a housekeeper, it's just someone that comes like the whole day from early morning until the evening, but she would go home to her. She had Monday to Friday.
It's sort of like a butler almost.
Yeah. And I was never very keen to that kind of life because although I had everything, and like I said earlier, when I was a little kid, I could wear a different set of clothes every day, and there were loads of clothes that we had given away because I never had the chance to wear them, and I grew out of them. But the main thing that I love the most to have, the sense of family, unity, respect, I didn't get from them. I didn't.
Right.
I was always seen as the black sheep. Always. Once I was grounded for a month because I went to spend the weekend with one of my aunt's maids in her small village in the country.
One of your aunt's maids.
Yeah.
Right.
And
okay.
I went with her, and I was both shocked with the different reality that I was checking into. It was.
It's almost like Sid Arthur leaving the palace and going to see how the poor
no
people
idea.
live.
I had the whole.
Reached enlightenment and then came back and
the whole
ostracized
little
by your
town
family.
just together by the bus stop. My lady's niece is coming. I was like, what? Just Sonia, it's enough. I'm not my lady. I'm not. Just Sonia, it's enough. And it was like one small town that they only had like one shop. It was the grocery shop. It was the post office. It was the bar. It was everything in that place. And they had only one street with houses, but they were good people. They were very, very humble. They did not even have a proper toilet. I remember asking, where's the toilet? And they were like, it's in that room. And you just would go there and you had literally a hole with a wooden lid on. And it would just go to the pigs. And I was like, oh my God, where should I have my bath? And they showed me a tank outside where everyone would have a bath, and I
Yeah.
was like,
They showed you a dog, and you get him to lick you.
no. They had 6 boys and 3 girls. But well, the boys, the eldest one was 17 or 18, 7, and he was like, "Oh, I can give you a shower." No, it's fine. So they got me because I'm huge. One of those huge metal tins.
What do you mean huge? Were you
No, I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm
right,
tiny.
yeah. Well, I'm saying you're very... Yeah,
I'm 5'1".
yeah.
They got me one of those large tins and put water in there
Right.
in the middle of the kitchen so I could have a bath. And I was like, oh my god, this is back to the little house in the prairie.
Yeah. What, and everyone danced around you and
No,
incense.
I was alone. I was like, please just leave me alone. I don't want anyone to wash me. I'll do it. And I remember of waking up one day at 5 in the morning to go to the fields with them. And the girl's mom was so worried that, oh, are you sure you can go? I was like, if you allow me to go, yes. She's like, no. Here you say it's your house. No, I'm just a visit. I'm not. I'm just, I'm invited to come here. I'm not saying anything.
But how did this create such division with your own family?
Because my mom thought I shouldn't mingle with the stuff, and for me, it wasn't. I didn't see them like that. They were like part of the family. They were with us for such a long time, and they were just people. The girl was 16. I was 12. I just wanted to do like girly stuff with her. I didn't, and even the others that my mom had, she started to come to our house. Well, to my family's house when she was 13. She left my mom's house when she was 95. Can you see the amount of years she was in our family? She was family.
Yeah.
I remember that I used to sit down to have lunch with her, and my stepdad would look at me and he was like, "You always the black sheep. You always need to be different from everyone. You don't know your place." He was like, "What do I know my place? It's in the chair. I want to eat. I don't care. Just show me the way and I'll go." And
so, is that what spurred your wanting to leave then? I mean, you talk about a lot of trauma again when you was a young woman.
Well,
did that spur your wanting to sort of get out of that?
When my parents got married, they went to live with my grandma, and then they moved out, and I had to go with them. But just for, they say I was with them for 2 years. I don't remember because my first 7 years of life with them, I don't remember. The psychologist said it was so bad that my brain just blocked those memories.
What age were you then with this?
I went with 2, and I was until 7. With them I was from 2 to 3ish, 4, but the memories that I can't remember were until 7. I don't remember anything. Not anything. I have a few memories, but they're not the best. I remember being locked in the closets in the dark because I had misbehaved. So it's like you sit down and you don't leave. I remember being force fed. I remember a lot of things. My mom told me that thank God I don't remember that my dad beat me up so badly when I was 2 that I couldn't breathe. Once because I couldn't walk as fast as he could through, in a steep road.
So that most of the abuse came from your father?
No, both.
Both. Okay.
Both.
Okay.
My dad was it was mostly emotional than physical. Physical was just those two times because I think he was afraid he would kill me at one point, and he didn't want to go to jail. That's why he would stop. My mom was ongoing. My mom cracked me one of my bones because I couldn't get a math exercise.
Now, did every one of your siblings get this though? Or was
No, it was me.
Just you?
Yeah, just me. Well,
was you the youngest? Or?
No, I was the eldest.
Oh, you was the eldest?
From their marriage, I was the only child.
Right.
Then my mom, they got divorced, and I had to go with my mom. She got married again, and she had another child. But I usually say, and it's true, my mom planned the second child. I was an accident. She had gone to the doctor. The doctor said that she couldn't have children. They got married. They went on honeymoon too. They came back straight. They couldn't cope with that. I think that was it.
Was it a Catholic upbringing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's fairly obvious, and you're Portuguese, that the Iberian Peninsula is quite Catholic.
It's very similar to the Spanish. Although the country says they are agnostic, they are not. They are Catholic. 90% of the population is Catholic. But it was very violent. My mom was like every time she would get frustrated, she would beat me up.
Right, so it
until-
was a frustration that it wasn't so much that you were misbehaving, it was just that there was a frustration that was being vented on you.
I didn't misbehave, but I was not exactly the easiest child. If I thought that something was the way I thought, I wouldn't give in. I remember being beaten up once because I stepped on my uncle's foot and I apologized, and he said, "No, you did it on purpose." I said, "No, I didn't. It was an accident. I didn't mean to." And he started to beat me up really badly, and I was like, "You can kill me, but I'm not gonna say that I did it when I didn't. I did not do it." So I was like that. I was very outspoken. I would stand my ground, and I would go until the end. I remember doing that. My stepdad, he was a man that was used. Everyone would try to please him and be sweet with him.
Yeah.
I was not that child.
Right.
And when he was mad, he would push me. You know, like men do when they are starting a brawl. And
Yeah, that physicality.
yeah. And I was like, I don't like it to be pushed like that. And he would go on. I was like, just go ahead, just do it, just punch me already, just make my day. Because if he would do that, I knew that I would have grounds to go to court and ask to go back to my grandma.
Okay.
Because that's where I want to live. I tried.
Where did your grandma live again?
She lived in the same
She was
city.
in the
It was
same
in
city.
Lisbon.
Yeah.
And my mom, sometimes she was very mean. She would just drive past my grandma's house and she would ask me, "Do you know who lives there?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's my nan. Do you want to go there?" I was like, "Yes, please." "Oh, you would, wouldn't you? But you're not going."
And it was your mum's mother?
No, it was my dad's mother.
Your dad's mother, right, okay.
I think my main role models of how to be, how to behave are my dad's mom, and my mom's dad. They were both my big role models because they always taught me like we are all the same.
You must have got that though as well from the maids and the servants as well, hanging about with them, that sort of role model, that lovely communal feeling as well.
One thing that I still do to my mum's housekeeper, every time I see her, I go there, I give her a hug and give 2 kisses, and my sister always gets horrified. "Oh my God, you're hugging the maid!" And I'm like, "It's not the maid. I don't see her like that. I like her. I'm very touchy-feely." So
do you still know and have contact with both your parents?
No. My dad, I gave him the last chance a couple of years ago. To make things up, because I understand people can mess up and can change and they deserve a chance. And I thought, he's on his 70s. Sometimes men do a lot of things during their lives and then they regret, and you should give them a chance to make things up. But lately, things were very bad again, very abusive, emotionally abusive.
Sure.
And I came to a point that I was like, "Do you know what? I'm cutting it for good. I'm done with this." And I was the only person in the family still talking to him. I had booked holidays to visit in Madeira. I was going to be in his place, and everyone was horrified. Like, "Sonia, please don't. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea." And I was like, "Oh, come on, he's just an old man. It's fine." And everyone, they know me, so they know I'm stubborn. And they didn't say anything until one day that I was like, "You know what? I have a bad feeling." And I booked a hostel. And because I couldn't have the money back, I'm still going there, although I don't deal with him. But yeah, things were very bad. He was not a nice man, to the point that a few years back he was looked after by the Interpol. So you can see how bad it is as a person. And this year I'm trying to, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to remove his name from my name. I don't want to have his name. My kids don't have his name.
Well, what about your mother though? Do you still have a good relationship with her?
Oh.
Are they still together? Are they? I mean, I never asked that. Are they still married? Are they still?
No. They got divorced when I was 7.
Right.
My mom got married again, but I was 9ish then, I think. And he died.
The one that she
later.
got married to died.
Yeah, died years later.
Okay.
Curious enough, he was my dad's best friend.
Jesus. I'm trying to follow this. I've I've been to Lisbon, Macau, grandmothers, sisters, maids.
No, it's
yeah.
well, sometimes I look back and I think, was this
You
one
should,
life
you
or
should
two
write
lives?
this. This is a soap opera. This is much better than Dallas or Dynasty.
No, it's
or,
awful.
You know,
It's awful. I just wanted the normal life. And when I got married, I was like, fine, I'm going to have a family, something functional.
Right.
No, it's not. Jesus Christ. So now I can do it, but no, just leave it.
Let me ask you this, then. Let me be very, let me poke with a stick. When did you think, what was the demarcation point for you in your marriage where you thought, I want to have a family, but this is just not going to happen. This is just not going to happen.
I started having feelings that, oh my God, I'm stuck in a relationship that I don't care in a way that I didn't want to have. When we moved to the UK and I started to see that men were different. Men were very...
In a good way or a bad way?
A good way.
Yeah.
I remember that coming to London and with a pushchair, and the man stopped to help me getting in the train, and I was like, what? And someone just hold the door for me, and I was like, oh, thank you.
Wow.
You're waiting for me, God. And I was like, yes. Okay.
Right,
And then years later, when I came to work in London, everyone was so kind. And I was like, oh, I like this. I could live like this. This is a lot nicer. And when I'm at home, I always have it's arguments and screaming and well, back then I didn't know that I was being beaten up constantly. And
you didn't know you'd been beaten up subconsciously?
No, sorry. Consciously, because I thought Tiago told me that he was a sleepwalker.
Right.
He was a sleepwalker until the day that I bought single beds. And then the sleepwalking was gone. He was cured. No more punching in the middle of the night, no more kicking, no more pillows on my head, nothing. Just like that, just went. And I asked someone that was a sleepwalker, and I asked professionals, is this possible? And they were like, no. There's no way a sleepwalker can control what they do when they do. And especially when you're getting divorced and it's against your will, you should be more nervous. The fits should come more often, not disappear. And I told Jack one night, oh, it's curious. We haven't had any of your things since we have these beds. And that night he decided to have, and I was like, you just cut the crap right now. How stupid do you think I am? Just quit from that night on.
So, but he never attacked you in
when I was awake.
For use of a better word.
But it was bad. One of the times I was 6 months pregnant, and he punched me in my belly that I jumped off the bed. It was that scary. And when I asked him, do you know what? If you're that violent during the night, go sleep in the sofa. You go. I've got the same rights to be in my bed as you do. And I was like, I'm carrying your child, you idiot. But I went to the sofa because...
But, I mean, I don't want to take sides. Obviously, being an interviewer, I've got to be a little bit impartial. But I do remember him being a bit strange. But being maybe overly... I mean, us men, we do like to be narcissistic, I will say that, but narcissistic to a point of, you know, if you wasn't looking at him and what he was doing, then, you know, the other people were sort of less than him, and, you know, he was the sort of, where the attention should be. I remember him drawing attention to that in one or two of the because he involved you. Was it him who initially involved you in cosplay, or was it your idea, or was it?
He asked me, "Oh, I think this is fun," and because he would struggle with the idea that I didn't have the same hobbies as he did.
Right.
I even joined him playing Warhammer 40,000, and he was.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, bless your heart.
I did, and he was like, I would have gone more if I didn't have to carry the two kids around and need to look after two kids and doing the plays and thinking about the strategy. And I like the game. I don't like to assemble the toys. I don't. I like the game. I love military strategy. I love it as well. I think it's my.
I mean, have you ever got back in, because there's some great online and computer games.
I haven't. I still haven't got it.
Total War, and that you don't have to put any bits together. 40,000, you just use it and you can see all the pieces and you can move them back.
Yeah, I need to think that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played that, and we played what was the other card game name?
Magic the Gathering.
Yes, I love that. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I
no,
love that
was
so
good
much.
fun. I get that. It's all on. That's what spelled death.
But
for
that
a lot
one
of
is
desktop
lovely.
Yeah.
But then he was very bitchy because I won a few times and he couldn't let it happen. And I was like, you know what?
I mean, come on.
But I don't.
You can't have it all. We can't ask you to play and then be angry when you win.
So like, well, you have to make that. You needed to give me that card.
Right.
Well,
right.
I was supposed if I wanted to win, but you shouldn't. What do you mean you shouldn't? I should let you win. That's a child. I don't do that. Not even to my 4 years old. Let alone to an adult man. I don't. But yes, and then he asked me, well, you can go to this Comic-Con. Fine. Let's do it. I was 3 months pregnant, I think.
Yeah, I think I remember the first time I saw you were pregnant with Connor.
Yeah. I cosplayed the first time I was 6 months pregnant. It was a joke because I was thinking I need a tent. The only thing was Leia. Well, I was like, I don't remember Leia being pregnant ever. And he was, oh, in the comic books they are. If you say so. Put the tent on. Let's do it. But I enjoy it because it was so laid back, so relaxing. You could talk to people. You could pose with them. Everyone was accepted, no matter if they had really pro costumes or if they were just amateur or just a geeky t-shirt. Everyone was welcome. But I don't know what. It changed with time.
Everyone said that. I mean, obviously, a lot of people I interview are people that have had. Well, I think it's a sort of generation thing. All the people that are of our age, or slightly old, slightly young, have sort of experienced it, and they say it has changed.
It has. Yeah. Last year, I went my last Comic-Con cosplaying. I loved it, but it was my terms. I could go to the stalls. I could see the artists drawing. I could see all those things.
So this was without Tiago.
Yes, I went just on my own.
So when did you get divorced from Tiago?
Officially, April 2017, but I broke up with him the second time. It was February 2016, and what made me say it's enough, it was the second time he asked his rights as a husband to take me to bed, and I was, God damn it, I'm not in the middle age that you asked me for that. If I'm not going to bed with you, it's because
conjugal
something
right. He invoked conjugal right.
Yes, it's
I
not.
mean,
Especially for someone that spent once 9 months without touching me because he was not in the mood. You want me to respect you when you're not in the mood, but when I'm not in the mood, I need to be it.
I mean, I'll tell you to make light of it about role playing in Warhammer 40,000. What did you think? It was a Renaissance fair or something?
I don't know.
I invoke my conjugal rights, woman. Lay back and think of England.
We did not even share the same army. I had the Blood Angels and he had the whatever. I don't remember. And I was like, oh my God. The first time I was like, you can't be serious. He was like, no, I'm joking, because he saw that I was really mad. No, I'm joking. The hell are you joking? Yeah. The second time, I was really mad, but I went the way that usually men say, oh my God, no. I just was like, do you want your rights? Fine. I just literally lay down, do it. And the stupid did it. And I was like, you never do it when a woman says like that. Just do it. Just get on with it. And when he finished, I was like, now your rights have ceased. I want a divorce. There are no more rights. And he tried to get back, and he tried to pull the card of the third child, because that's how Connor got with the second child, because we were a bit going in a rough patch, and he was like, you know what, I think you were right, you should have a second one. Probably you'll be happier, I'll be happier. And that's how Connor came.
Right.
When he started to talk, and I was like, oh God, don't put the third child, if you put that card, you literally were not even friends. And he pulled the card, and I was like, you know what? You are shit. Just shut up. I do not even want to talk to you. And that was it. There was no... The first time I asked for the divorce, it was in December 2014. But he was getting the kids in the middle. And I was like, I'm not going to forgive you for this. You don't put the kids in the middle, because when my parents got divorced, I was in the middle the whole time. And I hate it. And I always said, if we break up, the kids have nothing to do with this. It's between us.
But how does it lie now? Who's got who, and what is ours, and what is the things with custody and everything else?
I got the custody of the kids.
Okay.
He agreed to give it to me.
Yeah.
But things went to a way that it was a big mess last year. And I ended up giving Guy to him because Guy decided that Tiago is his role model, and whatever I say, it's rubbish. I'm only good for giving him money, presents, and stuff. And I was like, well, if you want to go, go. I'm not stopping you. I try to show you the best way as I can as a mom. I'll show you.
But that must have been really difficult for you at the same time.
It is. Yeah. I'm not good at letting people I love go. I'm not. I hold it till the last minute, and when I have to let go, it's like, oh God, go. It's fine. If you want me.
Of course, these are quite sensitive things. I remember something you told me that must have had a profound effect on you. The sort of confrontation between Guy and Connor.
Yeah.
Which really, you must have had to think to yourself, I've got to take sides now. I really have got to take
Connor
sides.
Connor was really distressed, still is. Connor hates to go to Tiago. He makes him take photos, and I know how Tiago is. I was married to him for 10 years. I know how it is to pose for a photo.
With Guy in the...
Guy once he didn't make a move at Connor. He beats Connor up when no one is looking, but Guy did make a move on me because he's getting tall enough. He's almost as tall as I am. And one of these days,
but he beats Connor up. You say
sometimes he does because Connor comes with a red shape here around the eye, and I ask what happened, and he tells me it was Guy. And I didn't. I was like, do you know what? Your brother wouldn't say it was you if it wasn't. And the mark is there. I can see it. The other day, I was lucky that I was close to Connor. If not, he would throw Connor down the stairs.
Have you ever seen it yourself, though? Have you ever seen Guy try to beat up? Now, Guy's the 10-year-old. Connor's the 4.5-year-old.
When he was younger,
that's a tremendous age difference. Yes. There shouldn't be that type of rough. You expect it when one's 8 and one's 9. You expect rough and tumble.
The thing is, Connor is very young, but he's tough.
Yeah. Well, there's still that still wouldn't egg an older brother into beating up.
I think it's because it's the way he is. Although people don't like to think this way, and they prefer to think, especially people who don't have kids. All kids are innocent. They are not. They are not. They have these genetics and these things that they come from their parents, their grandparents, and Guy doesn't have the best of hearts, and it shows sometimes. And well, what can I say? He takes on Connor, he takes on animals, and
Guy takes it on animals.
Yeah, he did when he was younger, and back then I thought, probably was just one-off.
And you say, look, stop me if I'm sort of making connections that are not quite right, but you say about Tiago, your husband, you say about the attacks, ex-husband.
Jesus Christ.
Let's make that clear.
So much ex.
Let's make that clear, ex-husband. The attacks during the night and the punches and stuff like that. Because I like to think that I'm not a great advocate of the blank slate. I don't think children are blank slates, but I think they do have to witness. Did he see how spiteful possibly Tiago was, and then maybe get that from there, or do you think? You were talking about genetics. Do you think that it's a genetic?
I think it's a genetic.
Really?
Because the way they are, the way they bond and they identify themselves, and the way they lie about the things, they're so much alike. It's like seeing a copy of Tiago.
But
I'm hoping that genetically speaking, he's got something from me.
Well, they will.
Do you know what scares me the most? And I'm watching it happening.
Right.
I'm gonna have a millennial child. I am gonna have it. I was married to a white knight for 10 years, and I'm gonna have a white knight child. I'm joking, but it's the truth. I see him taking, pardon things, and the way he speaks, and then he just, if he wants something else, he just swaps the speech and just completely. Even other people, other adults in my family, they saw it,
Mm.
and they were like, if I hadn't witnessed it, I wouldn't have believed it. And I was like, thank God you did, because you would have thought there was me. But no,
Mm.
he told everyone the same story. And then at the last minute to the social services, he said like, oh, can I stay with that then? Won't you be mad? Me? You tell everyone that is the devil, and now you're asking me if I'm mad. No. But what really hurt me was seeing Connor panicking, begging the social worker to let him go home with me, and I had to let him stay.
Right.
Because he decided that they would stay.
Mm.
He's 10 years old.
Mm.
And he's like that.
Mm.
And I try, he comes to me on the weekends, the first 2 days that he's trying to see if he gets something. Or go out for dinner, or having something else, or playing the tablet because he doesn't have a tablet at home.
Right.
He's nice. Apart from that, he's mean. He's literally mean. He knocks on his bedroom door, not door, the wall goes with mine.
Mm.
He knocks on the wall during the night to wake me up. Just because he felt like it. He's like that. He is. He's always checking who are the guys that I talk to in the street. My mom goes nuts with that. The other day when she came to visit us, I took my mom to Wagamama. And we have been there for what, 5 years? And the staff, some of them, are the same. So there was this man that came, hi, I haven't seen you for ages.
Right, okay, yeah.
And he was like,
Staff at Wagamama, yeah.
What? Where do you know him from? Do you go out with him? My mom was like, what? What sort of voice is that? He's talking to him. I'm like, well.
So Guy was talking
Yeah,
like that to you?
To me. And then there was a girl
Right.
that she did the same. And my mom was like, oh, no, you don't ask your mom where she knows the lady from.
Mm.
It's just a man.
Mm.
And he's,
So that's obviously maybe learned behaviour from.
yeah. Because
Tiago.
Tiago used,
Yeah.
when I started to go to the gym, Tiago got in his mind that I had someone.
Right.
And I don't. Oh, but now you buy clothes, you buy this. Because I work.
Mm.
Because I have the money, I buy. Oh, your mom has a rich boyfriend.
He used to make jokes like that in front.
Yeah.
Or
He was telling to Guy, he was talking to
Right,
Guy.
he was saying that.
And I was
making
like,
these
do you know
throwaway
what?
Comments.
I don't have anyone, but if I have,
Yeah,
you will know. I will
Yeah.
inform you. I'll post you.
yeah.
I'll post
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
What kept you because I've seen you've started doing mini marathons and stuff like this. I've seen
It was not mini marathons. It was some races I did for the wildlife park in Jersey, our Jersey. I did for the cancer one. It was Race for Life.
Yeah.
And I did one for the Marines,
Right.
the UK Marines.
Yeah,
Because it was a way to fundraise money for the families and the Marines when they got injured very badly, that they need some special care, and sometimes they don't have it. And I thought, well, it's a nice way to give back, because I came to a country that welcomed me so nicely, and I have men out there fighting.
Despite the stupid people in Kent who told you to go back to your own country.
Yes, I've got a lot of British friends that were like, oh, don't listen to them, please just stay. I'm not planning to go anywhere. No, I'm not. Unless they say, well, you have to go, but no.
No.
Europeans, and no, I don't need to go anywhere. So yeah, for now I'll stay. Well, I work loads. When people say that, I get upset because they don't know me.
I've got a friend called Anna. I hope you get to meet her. I used to go to school there, and we've sort of had a few meetings. I'd love to get her for an interview. But she has just stepped it up to 100-kilometre marathons.
Oh, I have a friend of mine and he's doing that.
I can't even conceive. I can't even conceive.
I had
a 26.
The Marines one was the most challenging one in a psychological way, more than in a physical one, because you go literally in really tight tunnels, completely dark. And one of the things that I fear the most, it's closed spaces and dark. I was like, no, it was something from the past, from when I was young and I was raped, because it was in a house with bars and completely dark. I don't deal with dark.
Well, you can't just drop that bomb there. When you was
Sorry.
young, and when
Sorry.
you was, how old was you when that happened?
I was 15. I was
15.
almost 16.
And that was in Lisbon.
No. It was in Macau.
That was in Macau.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was one of my mom's brothers. I just took it normally.
So your uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just talk about it naturally because it was such a long time ago, and I've had so many people asking me about it over and over and over, and it came to a point that if I don't remember the pain I felt, I can't talk about it. That's how I can.
Was he ever brought to justice, or was he ever
No, because by the
ostracized,
Portuguese law, if it's not caught in the act or if it has no DNA, it didn't happen. And again, preach the families, they just put it under the rug. That's it. And again, when I was 15, I was scared. He threatened they would kill me. I know he would do it. He was a martial arts black belt. He was a lot stronger than me. And I know in Macau it's very common for people to show up in black plastic bags, and they think, oh, because they came from a privileged family, it was probably they were robbed or there was something. And you never know what happened. And I thought, you know what, just...
So, yeah, as a 15-year-old, impressionable 15-year-old, you're thinking...
I was like, well, I thought, if I can go through this, I can still have a family one day. I can still have a life. I'm just 15. I don't want things to finish here.
Sure.
And I don't. So it was just close your eyes and just pretend that you're not. Just try to abstract. Of course you won't. It was very bad. It came. And after that, I had to go to a family dinner, and I had to put a straight face, as nothing had happened. But it took me 2 months to be able to walk again. 2 months. Many years later, when I had one of those OB appointments, the lady was like, I need to ask you something, because it was the first time I was going there. Were you ever pregnant? I was like, no. Okay. I'm sorry again. Do you like rough sex? And I was like, define rough sex. The one that you end up like literally bleeding. No. Okay, so I have one more question. Were you raped? I was like, yes. Why? Because inside you're full of scars. Even after all these years, you are full of scars. And I was like,
tissue,
I had no idea whatsoever. She said, well, no one will say unless they're observing it. But it's here. It's seen. If it had been before, you could have done something. But again, it was not caught in the act. So why would I brought this? Because no one would believe me. And when my mom, she asked me years later, she made me go back to Macau and confront him face to face. Didn't go well. I did go.
You know.
Worse than that, I had a boyfriend, a 6'1" guy that wanted to go with me to protect me. When things got ugly, he just crouched behind my back and behind my legs. Babe, do something. He's coming. And I was like, never mind, he's coming from me. Just back off.
Oh, yeah.
So things got badly.
Did you hear that? That's proof that tall boyfriends aren't always the panacea to.
Yes, because the 5'6" are so much better. No, my mom had told me, but you know what? You always go for the 6'1", 6'2". Please just lower the guys a bit.
Well, there's hope for me, maybe then. Yeah, people like me.
And when I introduced her to Tiago, she was like, oh, for God's sake, I should have been quiet.
No, it's because he was about my height, wasn't he? Tiago.
I don't know if he's that short. No, he's shorter.
Really? Yeah?
I think so. He's 5'5", probably.
Right, okay, yeah.
And I was like, nah, it doesn't work. My mom made a joke about the tall guys, and I was like,
but
no.
what initially attracted you to Tiago then? The guy who will ultimately be your...
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing.
Oh.
I was just
No, are you just being mean?
No.
No.
I was completely honest to him. We were colleagues. I was coming out of a broken heart, and I told him, do you know what? I don't like you. I don't feel anything back. You make me nauseous. And he was like, oh, I'm bad. I know I'm bad. I'm honest. But the thing is, if I can't be honest to a guy, what am I going to do?
You got to admire his staying power.
And he was like, but you will. I'm never gonna leave you. I'm not gonna cheat on you. You're safe. You're gonna be yourself. Blah blah blah. And stupid is, we were friends before everything happened, because I worked in a call center and he did too. And he heard me talking to one of my best friends, and we were like girly talk. What thing do you like in a man, or what's your dream man? And I said, well, it's like this, like that. And Tiago played that role until we got married.
Right.
And
but that reminds me of. I'm sorry to take it
It's
way
fine.
back. Do you remember Dustin Hoffman, Tootsie, when he befriends the girl that he fancies, and she tells him exactly everything she wants to be told.
yeah.
And then when he's a man again, he tells her, and she slaps she slaps him around the face. I mean, that really sums up for me.
If I like something or if I like someone, I say it. I may not say the words "I love you" straight away, but there's so many ways that I say "I'm proud of you."
Yeah.
I'm here for you, whatever, blah blah blah. But if I don't like it, I say it too.
Was there a golden period? Was there a golden period in that relationship? Was there a period where it is good, it is going to work, everything's good, we've got a child on the way, we can make this work, we're moving to London, was there ever
I think the moving to London was the golden period.
Right, okay.
And I thought, well, finally I'm going to be able to work in my area. It's going to be nice. I'm going to speak English. And things started to become funny. But there was not always. I think the first month was the golden period, to be honest. Everything. But we didn't work as a couple. We didn't work as anything. And I think...
Did you know about the rape?
He did. I told him. I was very honest. And he made a joke straight away the first day that I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. He was like, you imagine him going in with... I was in his car going through the woods. And he goes, oh, like I was going to rape you right now. And I was like... bad joke. Fuck's sake, man. He was bad. Yes, shut up. Go on. But when we were together the first times, it was not easy for me, but it wasn't not easy for him either, in a way that, because I'm honest, when you kiss a woman, the last thing you want to hear is, oh, please back off a bit. I'm gonna feel sick if you don't stop. You don't want to hear that. I said that. But I was like, I'm trying to like you. I'm trying to... But I'm still not there. But I like the idea of having someone. One of the things that marked me the most, and I think that's why I had some relationships that gone the wrong way. When I was raped, one of the things that I heard from my uncle was, you will never be anyone's woman because you're a damaged person. And I was like, the hell I'm not. So it was after that I wanted to prove myself and to him, I can belong to someone. I can be someone's woman. Right.
So you were trying to prove something almost.
I think I was. Unconsciously I was. And when Tiago made all the moves and said all the nice things and all the things, of course, especially if you were cheated before or if you hurt before, you want to hear that the guy's going to be there. He's going to be nice. He's going to respect you. And you don't need to be looking over your shoulder all the time. And he was ticking the boxes. So I was like, oh God, just give yourself some time. But you don't learn how to love. You either love or you don't. You don't force it. I got there, not as quick as I should have, but I did. And that's what it is. I told him, and I meant it. I forgave you all the pain and grief that you put me through, not because you deserve it, but because I need to move on. I need to know that I know that you can't be any better. You are what you are. And I gave you a chance because I thought that we could be something that we're not. Maybe someone else will fit. It's like a square hole and a round peg. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. No matter how many ways you try to fit, it doesn't. But we're not friends.
You're not friends.
Although I tried to be civil.
But there was obviously that must have been very difficult with you. I think I remember hearing that when you initially broke up.
Yeah.
And you was trying to get the divorce he said, I haven't got enough money to move out. So you literally had to live with him through that difficult.
Well, I gave him until July. It was the probation. What's the experimental period in a new job? Probation period.
Yeah, probation period. Yeah.
And I was thinking probation or jail, but no, it's a different probation. And when he came to that moment, I literally went with him to visit some houses, and I told him, you know what? Just take everything with you. Just go. Just leave my bed and my chest of drawers. That's it. Just take everything. I'll buy it again, but just leave. And I even helped him assembling some things. Like, I just wanted him out. My mom never understood that move, and she was like, "You shouldn't have done it." I shouldn't anything. I did what I thought that I had to have him out of my life. Because it's very easy for people from the outside say, you should have seen this, you should have. It's like rape. Everyone judges. You should have screamed, you should have tried, you should have done. It shouldn't nothing. Only the person that's going through it knows what they are going through. If they didn't do it, it's because they couldn't. There was not another chance, and we blame ourselves enough about whatever happened.
Sure.
So we don't need anyone pointing fingers. But
But do you think sort of putting that in the juxtaposition to the sort of things that are happening today, when I hear people say that they're sexually harassed because someone looked at them, and then I hear your story, and it's like that really, I've got to say it, maybe as unpopular as you might be,
in those
they're taking away things from people who really have suffered.
Do you know what? When there's, and I know someone will, I'll have loads of people unfriending me after this, but I don't give a shit. I'm sorry, pardon my French, but I really don't.
Yeah. Lovely English phrase. Like my French.
It's like, for me, someone looking at me in desirable way, like they want my body in some way, it doesn't affect me.
Okay.
Even if I don't like it, I will, okay, you like it, look it away, but just go your own way, I go my way. Even if someone gets too close, well, I don't like it, but I don't get traumatized with that. Even if someone touched my bum, I won't like it at all. I'll probably kick his balls, but I won't be traumatized. Traumatized, it was someone rapes you so badly that you pass out with the amount of pain that your body can't take it anymore, and you just pray to God to take your life once and for all, because you can't deal with that. That's bad. That's really bad. That's rape. That's not someone going after you and saying nasty things. For fuck's sake, man up. Man the hell up.
Well, you're going to get in trouble for saying man up, because obviously that's toxic.
Man up. Well, I already have feminists that just go berserk when I say that I don't defend feminism in any way. The first waves, they were fine, but the last ones, no. I feel like I need to defend men. It's ridiculous. Then it came to the point that even they have this one of these that she asked me, how can you defend men when you were raped by men? I was raped by one man, not all men.
Yeah, thank you, exactly.
One man. Look at me. I am one woman. There's how many men are raped by women? I'm not like them. I never cheated on a man in my life. So I'm not like all the girls that cheat on their boyfriends. I'm not playing any mind games with anyone. Like lots of them. So if I'm different, I don't represent all women.
Sure.
Men. One man doesn't represent all men.
Yeah. Well, it's like I was saying about it is, and part of this interview, the interviews that I'm doing are about that group identity, how about we are all individual. And you just hit the nail on the head. It was one man, and that's an individual who decided to commit one of the most heinous acts.
It happens. I know that I sound very cold. I'm not. In some things, I'm very rational. It's it happens. I was not the first. Unfortunately, I won't be the last person in the planet to be raped. Sure. Okay, I had to deal with that and go on. Like with so many other things. Like, for example, now nowadays everyone goes berserk with mental health.
Yeah.
It's not new.
Yeah.
Depression is not new. Anxiety is not new. I've been through that as well. Okay, I dealt with it, but I'm not gonna say, oh, I dealt with it in a way that that's the way. No, we all deal with our things in different ways. What hurts to me in a way for other person may not hurt at all, and vice versa. I'm not gonna say, oh, I did like this, and for example, I.
But you're talking about scales of how to deal with things.
Because you have loads of people saying you should do this, you should do that.
Yeah.
If you don't feel this way, or if you don't feel that way, or for example, those I see loads of.
But I'm sort of playing devil's advocate. I'm saying because I don't believe what I'm about to say, but I'm saying if there are scales of things that you deal with things, then that's how they sort of justify the fact he looked at me. I felt violated. I felt raped. You know, because it's there, and they always use this term, and I think it's it's my lived experience, and you can't tell me what my lived experience. And it's a very powerful. It is a powerful point, but you know, it's one that I really don't agree with at all.
Well, there's a lot of phobias. There are people that go in the train, just going in the train alone to London. It's a big deal, and I go like, for fuck's sake, it's not. For example, for me, I'll give you an example. When I went to the marine thing, there was this obstacle that they call the sheep dip. That for me, it's the
sheep dip.
It's the sheep dip because you shit yourself in front of that thing. It's literally a closed pipe under muddy water. That you need to go. It's like an 8 feet long pipe that you need to go under that, and you get till the end. You see nothing. You just have like it looks like sewage water. It's awful. And I got there, and it was this marine that looked at me and was like, "Just put your hands in the pipe, face down, bum up, and don't kick back." And I was like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" What I was thinking, but well, I'm here. Just let's go. Yeah. And there were people that just. Literally just went in wheelchairs. God knows how they got through that thing in wheelchairs. Because just me, and I'm not a big woman, I felt like, oh my God, this is it. Imagine in a wheelchair. And others just looking at that beginning of the pipe, they had a panic attack and they didn't go anywhere. So literally, it depends. It depends. I think it's a lot of people, but again, this goes to what we were thinking way before. The way you bring the kids up. If you bubble wrap them their whole life, that they can't give a hiccup, that everyone comes, oh poor child, they don't build any, I don't know, resistance or I don't know.
Relativity. It's all about I think it's all about relative stress, isn't it? You can you know.
You can't protect your child all the time. You can't. You need to explain them that sometimes things are not the way we want them to be, but you need to know how to deal with them. I use one example or one phrase very often. It's one bad day, not one bad life. Take one at a time, baby steps. Today was bad, tomorrow is going to be better. It doesn't mean that it's going to be always bad. It will hurt always, it will be better. But it will help you. Because through life, we have so many things. It's not only rape, for example. The armed forces, when they come back, they come completely fucked up. My martial arts instructor, he was in the British tanks for 20 years.
Wow, yeah.
He has depression, anxiety, all those things. He has it. But again, he knows how to deal with them. But they come like that. If you come from a background that people just put you too many, bubble wraps or put you like a crystal ball that nothing can touch. If you go to some situation like that, you can't. You just die from the first day. That's tough. I can sympathize with that. But
you think that might be your next great
join
romance? Well, no, you're someone who's been been somewhere like a tank and really knows what it's like.
Well, I like armed force guys. I really like them. No, my instructor wouldn't be one of those men. No. No, he's a good friend. He's very kind to me. He checks on me very often because he knows that sometimes when I'm very quiet, it's not a good sign. When I go, when I go in the cave, as I say.
No, I know that when you're very quiet,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
bad thing because
yeah.
usually it's ding ding. Oh, we know Sonia's all right.
Yeah. But when I'm very quiet, even my best friends, they know. Last year when I went on holidays, I went to my best friend's house, and this is in one of those small villages out of nowhere. I do not even know if that comes in the map. It's really small. And her husband, he's he's a Navy veteran. He made one of those hammocks to put in the trees, and I was just there, sat down, just quiet for 1 hour. Both of them, they came one at a time. Is everything okay? Yes. I'm fine. I'm fine because I was. It was just when you know that I'm safe, no one is gonna harm me here, and you just relax. And but I have different levels of silence with me.
Did you like? I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Go.
But did you? Do you think it's the experience with maybe Tiago that's made you go to the opposite of someone like a military who does take responsibility for himself?
No.
And
I think it comes way back.
Right.
I always admired armed forces.
Right.
I was raised up most of the time by my grandma.
Yeah.
Her dad and her brother were Navy officers.
Okay.
So I grew up with a woman that had the image of the armed forces one way.
Yeah.
And I was raised up to be a wife of them, an
way
officer,
back.
in case I wanted to go, because I always loved the uniforms, and I always
Officer
loved
and a Gentleman. You must have loved that film, Richard Gere.
Yeah, I did, but it was not. But it's too. I like big guys. I don't like those, really slim guys. I don't. I like men. I don't like. No, and Top Gun is one more likely. Not Tom Cruise, the other one.
Well,
the one who played Goose.
There were loads in there.
I like that kind of man. But yeah,
everyone
but I
from
like that kind. I think that the main thing with armed forces is that usually they know how to be loyal.
Yeah.
How to take responsibility.
Yeah.
What's honor?
Sure.
What's values? What to fight for, and they protect and show the love for that I hadn't felt before. And when my grandma talked to me about how it was, and I had all those pictures, and I dealt with my uncle until I was 4, and he was such an amazing man. I learned how to swim with him and my cousins. It was in Portugal. It was in the sea. It was not in a swimming pool. No, it was with 10-foot waves. And then it would just swim, just go move, do like the mermaid, and they would throw me in the water, and that was it. And then they would pull me out. But it was so nice. It was so.
But not what uncle was that? Was that?
No. That was the uncle that raped me. Was my mom's brother.
And this was
my grandma's brother.
Your grandmother.
Yeah, so it was my great uncle.
Great uncle.
Yeah. I always dealt with more with. Although I like younger men, I always dealt more with older people. But I don't like older men. I don't.
No, younger men are better. They've got more.
They're funnier.
They've got more energy as well.
Well, energy can be relative. For example, I'm 44 and I have more energy than my sister that is 11 years younger than me. Even she says so. She's like, you should behave according to your age. I was like, and what is that? Because I don't feel my age. I don't imagine myself like being nice and quiet and not doing funny things. Every time she sees me with a geeky t-shirt, she's like, that's not for your age. And it gets me on my nerves because I will always do it.
But by the same token, it's always the young people that you hear say, age is just a number, age. And I'm just like, tell that to my hips, and tell that to my back, and tell that to...
No, but I'm fine. I've got also physical problems that I have from mistakes from the past. For example, one of the biggest one was with my mum, because when she was young, she was fat, and I was skinny. And my mom thought because she was fat, I should be fat too.
Mm.
So when I was 11, she decided to give me like an overdose of vitamins because I was very skinny. So in Portugal, you can buy medication without having prescription. It's not like here.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So she gave me adult vitamins. They usually give one a day. She gave me 3 a day for a whole summer. Things didn't go well. And when I got back to the doctor, I was doing ballet back then. So I was skinny. I was this tall, but I was, 40 pounds slimmer probably than I am now. And the speech from my pediatrician stopped going from, Sonia, you need to bear in mind that if you grow any taller than 5'7", you're out. They don't accept you to be a professional ballerina. To Sonia, I'm so sorry, but the medication your mom gave you speed up the solidification of your bones, so you're not gonna grow anymore. And I was like, oh, fuck. It wasn't the year that I had been finally accepted in the biggest ballet school in Lisbon. It's the equivalent from the Royal Ballet in London.
Right.
And I think that was when my mom and I started to have our biggest issues because I had loads of health problems after that. My back got affected. I had to have a breast surgery after that. And yes, I ballooned up. And I was like, this is not my body. Although I'm a lot better now, but I still look at it and everyone makes a joke that you're so tiny. And I just feel like I'm going to punch you in the face. I know I'm tiny. I wasn't supposed to be this tiny, but I am. So yes, but I'm alive. So that's what I say. I could be dead with the overdose. I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be.
I think you'll agree with me that hour and 11 minutes has flown by, and it's a great thing to stop. And I'll stop it on this. That the loveliest things come in small packages.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sonia, for a fantastic interview on Out of the Ordinary. Number 6, we have our own theme tune now. Hopefully we can even get Sonia in again for a second interview.
Yeah.
And I hope to put this up. And thank you everyone for listening. Thank you very much.